Hey everybody, welcome to Watchers in the Dark. I'm your host today, Garrett, and we're going to be going over some tricks and tips for scoring primary objectives. First of all, let's go over how to score primary objectives. Most missions are a hold 1, hold 2, or hold more objectives than your opponent to score 4 points for each of the conditions you satisfy. Some missions are hold 2, hold 3, hold more, and we'll get over those when we go over each individual mission and their specific mission primary. So to score full primary per mission, you need to score a total of 45 points, which sounds easy until you realize you have to do this 4 times of holding a majority of the objectives on the map, not including any primary objectives from the mission. So we will go over the mission-specific primaries so that you can score them to the maximum effect and how not to overscore, because overscoring is kind of bad. You really don't need to score over those 45 points. You don't need to waste time on scoring over those 45 points. You need to score exactly that 45, and only missing 1 point for 44 is not the end of the world, but you really do want to score that 45 points if possible. In this review, we'll only be going over mission 11, 12, and 13. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch the next ones. Recover the relics. Control 1, Control 2, Control more. Score 1 VP for each enemy unit destroyed per battle round. This is really unique because it gives us the opportunity to play in multiple different ways depending on our army. If we are a Horde army or a MSU army that just has a lot of throwaway units, stuff like that, or things that can chain hold points, we're just going to want to stand on more objectives than our opponents, controlling 3 objectives a turn and just scoring basically that 12 for 2 or 3 turns. We don't need to do it every turn because the mission primary for this mission is just killing units, which is just going to happen if you're playing 40k in most situations. But if we are a more elite KG army, we're going to want to only control 2 every turn for the most part, and just kill them for 12 points roughly to score 44. If we just want to control those 2 points, we don't have a lot of units to spread out with. We can't screen 3 objectives worth. We just can screen those back to, or maybe we don't want to come out of cover and we just want them to walk up and take all of the punishment that we can dish out on the middle objectives. And that's not to say that you don't want to hold all 3 of your objectives, because it still denies your opponent primary for them only scoring an 8. But if it lets you play more cage, denies them units to kill, and allows you to kill them for free in response, it's very much a worth it playstyle. Because again, you don't want to score those 45 points. If you're controlling more objectives than your opponent every turn, you're really trying to play that back and forth game there, you could just overcap the primary. It won't matter in the end that you had 4 12s anyways, because you already scored all of this primary for no reason. Tear down their icons is a 5 objective mission. Control 1, Control 2, Control more. This mission is all about army explosives. It's basically just performing an action with a unit to set a marker in the enemy's territory 9 inches away from any other of these explosive markers. Units with OBSEC automatically place it at the end of turn, and units without have to wait till your next command phase. So they have to wait around and are likely in danger of dying. And these are worth 4 points at the end of the game for primary. And how to disarm them is the exact same as how you arm them. If you're OBSEC, you disarm immediately. If not, you have to wait a full turn. Again, if you're an MSU style army, you're probably going to want to go for multiple of these bomb sticks put on your opponent, so they have to spend time and resources disarming them. If you're a more elite army, you're probably just want to focus on the middle objective and your 2 home side objectives. Let's say, for example, that you're a Custodes army. You have 1 unit of Sisters of Silence outflanking. You can then use that unit to plant 1 bomb pretty easily, and then you only have to score an 8 for one of the turns and not 12s for all of them. So it lets you play a little bit more defensively the first turn if you really want to do that and just save up for that. But it does have the downside of being able to be disarmed on one of the later turns. Data Scry Salvage is a Control 2, Control 3, Control more mission with 6 objectives. Only 1 starts in your home territory, and the other 4 are down the middle of the map. So you have to play a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more up than a lot of armies typically like to play. Data Intercept is the action for the mission that lets you score 1 VP for each of the no man land objectives that you control. You have to start this action, though, on your home point. In this mission, you're going to have to control 2, Control 3 to score the 4 points, which makes it a lot tougher because you have to expose yourself a lot more to the enemy to score not only the primary, but also the mission primary, and requires you to have a unit on a back point doing an action. So this mission makes you play much more aggressive than you might be used to, and this one is one that you really have to kind of play the trading game get the most effectiveness out of some of your units if you're playing one of those more elite armies. If you're an MSU army that has a lot of OBSEC, this actually is a great mission for you to play into more of those elite armies, because you can force a lot of turns where they have to stay on their side, not coming to you, and forcing you to check some of their units off, or just throwing OBSEC units at them just to deny them primary. Because if you can control 2 of those objectives just for 1 turn, you can knock them down to a 4 that they control of the 6. Which is backbreaking sometimes, those armies, especially if they don't have extra units to really do those data intercepts with, or like just be able to control that. And if you're able to put something in the backfield to threaten that data intercept unit, it normally is very much worth it, because it then turns off the data intercept that normally is scoring 1 to 2 points a turn for each player. That's all for this video. We're going to have a review up for 21, 22, and 23 later this week, and a 24-hour live stream to help a charitable cause. So please go check those out. Make sure you like and subscribe so you guys can catch the next ones. We'll see you guys in the next one.